Hello, hello, hello everyone, and welcome back to a very, very special video. I've got the beginnings of my miniature garden, and today you and I are going to start to put it together. I have a bunch of little pieces, little plants over here. In fact, I'm going to give you a little overlook right now. So you may recognize some of the things you're looking at, like the shelf, but we've got some new little pieces. Mainly what I've been doing lately is working on these little plants you see. And I will be honest, I actually am not done with the plants. I do have another couple pages of them, but I wanted to wrap up the garden and move all this out of my room. And I'm gonna make the plants after and just gonna add them in. I mean, it's just a couple plants that I'm missing, or like 5 or 6. So that's what we're doing today, and as you can see, I have glued the painted pieces, the big pieces together. I glued on this wood texture to one of the walls. I glued the grassy ground texture on the bottom, and I added a few details on the walls that really needed to be glued on, and I needed to do that before I put the 3 together. So I do have some cute little bits. I'm gonna open up my manual, my trusty guide that I've been following this whole time, and we are going to start adding it all together. I'm really excited. One thing we're gonna start doing right now is I've got a couple of pieces that need to go on here, and I actually put together earlier. I did a little bit of electrical wiring earlier, and I made the light. Now you're supposed to test it, and I either couldn't test it properly or it didn't work. I don't know. So I mean, worst case scenario, the light just doesn't turn on, which is not a huge deal. I have to thread the wires through. There's like a little hole right there, so it's gonna go through that and down the back. But before I do that, it's really awkward to put down. I need to put together some other things. So I need some wooden pieces. I think they're the ones that are left in this bag. Oh, you know what? One of them is here. I have to get this interestingly shaped one out. That's B8. Come on. And I know I struggle a bit getting these punch out pieces, and you guys have suggested I use my knife. I have been using them off camera. I've been using my X-Acto knife a lot, but I just feel funny about using it on camera. I don't know, maybe it's because I want to always show like responsible usage of stuff, and I'm worried that maybe I'm not responsibly using that. And then one of these pieces, I think. Only one? I have 4. There's 4 there. Well, I'll get one of them out. Maybe they give you 4 in case like one breaks or something. But it really does finally look like a garden, doesn't it? It's just looked like a lot of doodads up until this point. I'm really struggling. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I've got that, and I've got that. And now, a problem I've been running into is that sometimes I punch out these pieces that I've painted, and only this side is painted because that's what it said, this is unpainted, and of course this side and this side is unpainted, and I'm just questioning whether or not it's meant to be that way. I just can't help but feel like I should be painting all sides of it. So before I go any further, I'm just going to slap a bit of paint on the sides. And my paintbrush is so dried at this point, and I'm sorry, I know that you guys can't really see, but it's not very exciting, trust me. I'll try to do it down here a little bit, but I'm kind of far away from the camera anyway. I know that a lot of you have been, following the progress of the garden, and so I hope you guys are proud that I've made it to the end. I think the one thing that helped me is I set a goal for myself that I had to have it finished before, basically by the end of this week was my goal. It's the beginning of the week for me when I'm filming this, and I don't know when you'll see it, but the goal will have passed by then, because I need to set up this room, my room, as a bedroom for my friend who's gonna stay with me for a bit. And this is a small room. I don't have room for a table and a bed. The bed is gonna go here, so I really told myself, hey, finish up this garden thing so that you can set up her room. So that was good, having a little deadline. I think if I didn't have something like that, I could have probably pushed this off forever and ever. I think I would have eventually gotten around to it. I think you're really only gonna see it from one side, so that's probably why it didn't matter for you to paint them, but I would be happier if all sides were painted. So it's a real rough paint job, but a paint job nonetheless. Oh my man, it's really rough, yeah. This is pretty loosey-goosey. The bits that I had been making on camera, like those pieces, they were all so fun and not too difficult. And then I feel like, they started you off easy with those before they threw you in the deep end making the plants. That was the hardest things I've done so far. And the worst one is right here. This guy. This is why it's on here. I had to glue it on. Can you see all the tiny little leaves on it? I had to cut out each leaf individually and glue each leaf on the wire that I cut and, arranged individually. And then every single time I touched it, it felt like one of them would fall off. So I was getting like irate. It was just absolutely a disaster. And as I'm trying to set it up there, they're falling off. So I glued it on, and then I added some more. I don't know if I should be painting this piece too, but why not? I have a bit of paint left, and there's really not much else to paint, so I don't even know how this is going to be situated, so maybe I'm wasting my time. What do I even use that for? What do you even use this for? Oh, I see, okay. And now I've gotten paint all over my hands. So I feel like I'm gonna have to stop and wash my hands before I continue. It's just got paint all over me. I didn't even think I was gonna be painting in this at all. I thought I would just be assembling. Shows you how much I know. And I might have to do this over a few parts, so who knows, I may change outfits and change angles and all that. Don't be too surprised if that happens. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands. Okay. I need this little lattice looking piece. And this thing. And then there's just one piece left in this bag. Okay, so I need B8, B10, A12. There's 2 of these? What? Oh no, just from bag 2. Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, I wasn't panicking. Basically, you glue B13. There's a hair stuck on me. You glue these together. Okay. With that one on top. I'm really getting low on the glue, guys, believe it or not. Felt like, you know, I had so much in the beginning, but so I'm really starting to get down to the end of it. And I know I'm not done since I have more flowers that I have to make, and flowers, plants. I think it's a bit clogged. Hold on. Okay. Been trying to not use too much, but you know, sometimes you just use too much glue. Okay, glue this piece on there. Okay, I guess I'll just kind of like set it down and make sure they line up along the bottom. Getting little glue bits stuck to me. Yay. Okay. So you're good. Sit you down. Of course it's stuck to me. And that is gonna be glued to the thing we just painted. And then we stick that right here. I don't know if you can see. And there's a tiny little white square on the floor showing where it's gonna line up. So I don't know how dry this is, but basically, there's a little bit of white paint that I just got on the floor. Yeah, it's definitely a bit wet. And which way does it go? It's gonna go like that. Oh, you know what? While I let this dry, there were other things that I needed to affix. So let me go back and do that. I'm getting maybe too ahead of myself. When were you supposed to do that? Okay. Like for example, this Eve, this is gonna go on like this, and I'm not sure, because like if it were to lie flat, I don't think that would look as good. I think it needs to angle down, right? But it doesn't really show it angling down. It's kind of, I'll try. That needs to go on, and then there's the piece that I said is the only piece left. That goes right here. I can throw that away now. Okay, let me glue you on first. supposed to kind of like yeah, it's just definitely, oh, I didn't poke the glue, did I? Okay, I'm gonna glue this. You can do it, glue, you can do it. Come on. Let's go, glue. See, I gotta wait forever for this glue. Okay. Just a little bit because I think gravity and this is gonna help it. Next, try to get this, and I might try to add some glue here on this wall as well as here. How about like that? I'm gonna stand in the front and look at it. There's more places that need paint. I definitely don't think I had to paint that, but I did. And it's so minor. I don't really think it's gonna make a huge difference. There's also a big piece, oh, it's this one that lies flat along the top. Well, that's more stuff I gotta paint. I'll probably paint that later and add it later. Okay, I already added in this little step. It's not even glued in actually, I just kind of wedged it in there. And this is quite cool. The back side I used as a template for, and this was such a pain to make, for this little barbecue grill kind of thing. It looks like a barbecue grill to me, but I don't know what it's supposed to be. There's so much glue stuck to this one, but it is so fiddly and it doesn't really stand up right. If you look at it, it's kind of all wonky, but I just like the fact that this is very resourceful. We reused this piece of wood by taping a piece of paper over it, and boom, two things in one. Okay, so it's going to go, it goes in this so it goes here. I mean, I almost don't have to glue it, I feel like. There's these little indentations in it, and I'm not sure if, like, is something gonna go in there? No, not necessarily. Okay, gotta get my glue ready again. Yeah, it definitely goes this way, right? Sometimes I'm having a hard time reading it upside down. Yeah. I will just give this a quick glue around the edges. So how many of you went out and got one of these kits after seeing my video? I know a lot of people said that they were really interested in it. Some people said they were gonna treat themselves to a kit. And if you did, if you're one of those people, I want to know, how's it going? How's your little kit coming along? I've been quite impressed by how quickly some of you have said you can make them. I mean, you know, this has taken me over a month, which I think is pretty reasonable. Okay, so I'll just glue on there. And then there's some other pieces that it said you could glue in, but I kind of feel like I don't need to. Like this step is gonna go here under the window. This is obviously where the window is gonna go. Oh, and I have to tell you guys something. I discovered, what was I making? Oh, I was making these teeny tiny little candle, what would you call this? Blanking on the word, like a candle holder thing. Lantern, the word is lantern. I had to use they call it plastic membrane. It's the see-through stuff that we used in the windows. And I discovered that plastic see-through membrane has a protective film on it that you remove. Guess who didn't remove it when making this giant window? So it's not perfectly see-through. And I did actually manage to remove one of the sides in this window, but I kind of ripped part of the paper while I was doing it. I don't know, it's not a huge deal, but it just really annoyed me when I discovered that. So this is gonna go in like this though. Oh, it actually sits there. Really nice. Well, we're gonna be gluing it though. We're gonna glue that there. And remember when we made this door? Our little door is gonna go like this. And it's gonna swing open. We're not gonna close it. We are gonna leave the door ajar, which I think is adorable. So you put this one here. There's another one. Where are you? Where are you, my friend? Oh, you are. Oh, you know what? I think this was the wrong one. I think this one goes somewhere else. I think you're meant to use the big one there. This one. Do you use the big one there? Stepboard number 2 and stepboard number 3. Which one was the stepboard number? I have to go back to the page where I made the stepboards. This one was B. Okay, I was right originally. We do use this one. Okay, put the stepboard there. And then this one. Sorry, I'm dropping my paintbrush and I just spilled paint and I just keep wiping it on my arm. Then this stepboard is just kind of gonna go willy-nilly, like over here. It says glue them down. I guess if you're gonna move this around a lot, you know, you might want to glue stuff down. I'm okay gluing that down and this stuff, but some of the little pieces I don't think I'll glue down. I think I'll leave them. That may be a disaster and I may really regret doing that, but I may regret it. I may regret all of it. We'll see. Okay, I did all that. Is this dried yet? I'm gonna do a second coat of paint on this, and I'm gonna paint that, and I'm gonna come back and glue this stuff. So let's take a quick break. Okay, everybody. I have just been for a walk, and now I am ready to work a bit more. Things have been drying, so I've got this, I don't know what you would call it, roof accent piece that we're gonna glue along the top like this. So let me get my glue, and I've painted it on the sides, which is something that was missing. Okay, here comes the glue. Not too much, because getting low, I think we'll be fine, but there were probably times where, let's be real, I was a bit overzealous with the glue and I didn't need to be. Okay, press it down, come on. For some reason it keeps popping up at the end. Okay, it's popping up at both sides. That's weird. Okay, I'll press it down for that glue to take hold. Alright, and then the other pieces that are gonna go here in the middle are ready, I think. Okay, come on. Hi. How's that? It's still really I don't feel like it's really flush at the top, but I mean, this is probably as best as it gets, so that's that. Okay, then I glue this one to this one, like goes to that side. Okay. How does that look from the front? Maybe it's just from my angle. When I look down, I kind of look from underneath and I can see like just a tiny bit of space underneath it, but it actually looks fine, really. So I need to leave a 2mm space between the bottom of this and the bottom of the other piece, apparently. Which I feel like I can just eyeball. I don't think I really need to measure out 2mm. But just to double check, I'll get my measuring tape out. Yeah, that was pretty much spot on. 2mm. Now I think it's meant to actually, while that dries, put that down there. I think it's actually meant to go down in this. Like I'm meant to poke a hole in that spot I told you about. But I didn't poke a hole in it. I mean, I can. It would be the best angle from which to do this. Okay. There's actually a hole underneath it that's like the same exact size, so So it's basically just gonna go in like that. And I guess I will smoosh it in as best I can. I'm also meant to put some leaf powder down here as like leafiness, I think. I don't know if I need to add glue or if it'll just stick, but I'll stick a bit of glue in the hole just to maybe help. It takes so long now. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. And a little next to it for the other bit. Okay. I suppose I should have added some to this spot, but I didn't know exactly where it would line up. Let me see if I can add like a dollop of glue. There we go. Oh, kind of came undone. Oh, shoot. Oh dear. Okay. This is not going so great. I need to fix this. My glue came undone. I think I really need to wait for this to dry completely. Probably should have glued it before I went on my walk then. Let me see if I can get some better glue down there. Glue. Glue. Is it too ambitious to try again? Maybe. I'll just kind of gently rest it there. Okay. You're gently resting. Okay. All this glue strands everywhere. Okay. Another thing I need to add is the little drain pipe. It's gonna go along the edge like that. Does it go all the way at the top? I think it goes all the way up here, and it fixes to this, which feeds into the straw, and the straw, yeah. At this point, I may need to come around the front and work on things. So let's see. Put my straw and my drain pipe and everything down there, and I'm gonna come around the front. round enough. Kind of angles down a little bit, but I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. You know, I would prefer it be a little more curved, but it's paper, so there's not a lot I can do about it. And then I'm gonna, the other way around. Okay, so just kind of gonna bend it like that. Oh, cute, cute, cute. Maybe I will. This is the back. Bend, bend. Does it go all the way to the bottom? Because it's kind of like that length, right? I have to refer to my book quite a bit. Oh, I think I could crunch it up more. You can kind of, it's not the best looking straw in the world. It's kind of crinkly. Yeah, I'm kind of having issues getting it to make the shape that I want. And I kind of have to stick that in there. Come on. There we go. That's too. Maybe I just can cut a bit off the bottom. You know, I could trim it a bit. I'm gonna trim a bit. Yeah, I wish the straw held its form a bit better, but there's nothing really, there's not much I can do about that, you know? Kind of gluing it in here a bit, and then I'm gonna glue this back bit. Gonna make it look like it believably the water goes in there. add a bit of. Oh, I keep slipping. Yeah, maybe I'll add a bit of glue down here to get it to stick. There we go. I gotta get these fences up. I'm not really sure how long it is. You are not where I told you to be. Okay, I'm gonna glue this fence first so that it. Oh, it's quite long. Goes all the way down to like here. So cute. And then I'm going to fix on the window off camera. I think it's too difficult. Dun, 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 dun. So I managed to get that light put in. It was a lot of work, so I'm glad I just did that off camera. But I forgot to glue this little flower guy on the window. You were supposed to do that before you put the window in. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm doing it after. I don't think it should be a big deal. So yeah, I popped on the light and I did all the wiring. I had to like strip some of the wiring and add like a heat shrink wrap thing to it, and I think I'm gonna have to deal with that a bit more because the wiring has popped out a bit, but it works. It works, and I'm gonna turn it on in a second and let you guys see. It actually is amazing looking, and it's surprisingly bright. Surprisingly bright. So I'm gonna hold this here, let that dry, and eventually, although I'm not gonna do it today, I'm not gonna do it tomorrow. I'll be honest, I don't know when I'm gonna get it done. I have to cut out a bunch of leaves and glue them on wires, and that's going to go above the light. I don't know, whatever this thing is called. Sorry, you're gonna see my head popping in and out because I had to sit on the floor, which is why I couldn't film any audio for this, because, well, there wasn't really any audio to listen to be honest, but then I was so far away from the mics, I couldn't position the mics better, so I'm just doing things like this. Look at that. And I mean, it looks okay now, but wait till I put more stuff in it and you guys are gonna love it. So just gonna start adding some stuff. This one is supposed to hook on the fence, and it was a struggle. I really struggled putting that thing on there. I will be honest about that. And I think I lost a few leaves. I'm trying to like fix the wire. Yeah. So there's gonna be like viney leaves that are gonna cover up. You can kind of see a tiny bit of the wire wrapped around the trellis kind of thing. I don't know. So that will cover it up. It's quite clever. And it's also gonna kind of go down the wall, I think. I have to just look at the picture, I forgot. But to be honest, it actually looks really cool right now, I think. Like, even without it. Still struggling. But there we go. And I gotta show you guys, I kind of messed up. See this cute thing I made, the first thing I ever made. It's supposed to squeeze in right here, but you see the way I glued on that yellow picture? I should have just moved it over a tiny bit more because it doesn't, it's just a smidge too left. So I'm so annoyed that I didn't actually think things through when I was gluing them on the wall. Oh, there's definitely been some cases where I'm like, I wish in the instructions they could have been like, put it at least this length away, or you know, like there's definitely places where they just let you figure stuff out on your own. I've been really tempted to watch YouTube videos like of other people making it step by step, but I've been resigned to figuring it out on my own, and I have been figuring it out on my own. Everything else fits, right? The clipboard is just above it. But that yellow painting just needs to be moved over a tiny smidge. And I actually tried to peel it off, but all I did was I just peeled the cardboard or the wood away from the painting, so it didn't get done. And I still haven't attached the door, but I'll kind of poke it in. I love that plant. That one's really cute. So this is gonna just reaching through the door. Everything is so tiny, so fiddly, that is kind of awkward, and I'm always knocking things down. And I know that I don't always have the best angle. You know, it's hard to watch me put things up, but I just really can't do better than this because I feel like I would need another person, a camera person, and I do everything myself, you know, guys. I'm the cinematographer and the editor and the actor and the voiceover artist and the producer and the graphic artist for the thumbnail. I do everything myself. And I'm not putting down people that, you know, hire out editors and stuff like that. Just saying you have to be patient with me, and that's why things aren't up to the standard as other creators. Because I try to do everything myself. Yeah. And this one doesn't really stand upright very well because of the way the bead is shaped. So I'm gonna glue the bottom of it, and I'm actually gonna glue this one to the floor. I'm not really gluing anything else. Obviously I glued the really annoying plant I told you about earlier. I glued that in the windowsill, but everything else is pretty much just as it is. It's not glued down, which is why I've already run into issues picking it up and things falling over. But it's okay. Okay, lots of glue on there. I don't really know where to put it. And I think that it's almost like you could assemble it however you want, you know? I think that you can put things around differently. I feel like you could, at least. I'm kind of following the front image on the box, which is how they mainly show you. So I'm referring to the image on the front of the box. But sometimes I change things around. So I've got this little spade. I'm going to put it up there, and that is where they've got it, theirs. But some things I put in slightly different positions. And by the way, this is filmed this is filmed a day later than my before, you know. So I told you that it was gonna take me a while. Alright, that goes underneath this by the drain pipe, which, don't look at how mangled my straw is, everybody. I've got this really cute pot. It's so cute. Love that. I'm not even doing these in like the right order that you're supposed to do them in. It definitely was like, do this first and then do that. And I was like, just doing things willy-nilly. There's my watering can. And I was running into this issue, like it's covering the pot. If I had read the instructions right, this wouldn't have been an issue, but I will figure it out later. Oh, here's my least favorite thing in this entire set. I really can't stand this thing. I call it a grill. It's definitely not supposed to be a grill. It's some sort of rack. I just don't like it because it didn't come out looking very good. There's a ton of like glue, you know, the dry glue bits. You can see it. When I do some close-up shots, you'll see a lot of glue that, you know, I didn't peel off. And it's really wonky looking. It's like all cattywampus. And I just don't like this. It doesn't look good, so don't look at this part, everybody. Don't look at it. Don't look at that. See, I cannot get it to go the way I want. That's as best as it's gonna get. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, and you're supposed to put something on top of it. I can't fit anything on top of it. They have this tiny little pot full of these little stakes with signs in them, you know, like it says seeds and one says tree, and they're very cute, but look at this. How am I supposed to fit anything there? And they immediately fell over, of course. So I decided I'm gonna glue them into that, because if it's going to sit up there, then I need those little stakes to stay. I need them to stick like glue. So, and I have two of these. I have two pots with, I'm really struggling, with a bunch of these little signs in them, and I glued all of them. Maybe you were supposed to glue them originally, I don't know. The only downside, the way I made this little hanging vine plant in the window is it kind of covered up the house, and I didn't really think about that. They had theirs on the left, which I should have tried to fit it there, but it wouldn't fit there. This is where it fit best, and I like the way it looks there. But the downside is it does cover up a mini house. And you know what? Oh, I'm losing my voice. Let me just drink some water. 1 second. Okay, they actually gave me two tiny wooden cutouts of the house. So I'm kind of tempted to make another. Maybe I'll give it a different colored roof, and then maybe I'll hide that one somewhere in the garden. So I glued that down, but I decided I wanted to move it over, so I'm just the glue hadn't totally set yet, so it worked out fine. Yeah, it's fine. I do love how chock block it is full of stuff. I mean, that is really cute. But we got more to go, lots more to go. Alright, what's next? What am I doing? Sometimes I stop to do stuff, glue something in my lap, so, you know, or sometimes I'm reaching across to get stuff. Oh, here are my teeny tiny little jars. One of them says sunshine, and one of them says lemon. And the lemon one has teeny tiny bits of paper that I folded up and then cut up, and I put them in the jar. So that's the lemon jar. It's my favorite because you can kind of shake it and you can hear the little bits inside. So love that. And then this is a rolled up poster, kind of painting. Literally just cut out the paper and I folded it up. Oh, I think this is like my favorite plant, this snake plant. It just looks very good. I don't know, the way you make it, it came out looking really good, I think. See, this is the problem, is most of the time you can't see me put stuff, you just see my hand. Sorry. I love that. Doesn't it look good? It looks most realistic to a real plant, I think. This one was really tough to make. I don't know if they're meant to be like tulips. They're a little tulipy looking, but I can't get it to stay on this shelf the way that I've made the leaves. They kind of poke up and then they knock the whole thing over. So I realized there's no way to do this. See the way it sticks out? It's not gonna happen. So I decided to glue it. Yeah, earlier when I said that most things aren't glued down, I guess I forgot about this. This is glued. I did actually glue this one down. Oh yeah, and then I was supposed to do this earlier, and I'm doing things in a wacky order. You're meant to glue, and it said along the dotted line. There's no dotted line on that, so it looked like this was it. It's kind of border between that stone texture and the grass, and then use this really cute little mossy looking grassy stuff and sprinkle it over the glue. Oh my gosh, there's a fly. Do you see that? I remember being annoyed by it when I was filming. I didn't know it was actually visible on the camera though. That's really awkward. Sorry. That's very cute. I think it gives the whole floor a lot of texture. You know, the whole floor thing was just like one printed flat 2D image. But with the little wooden rug piece and the steps that we made, the stepping boards, it gives it so much depth, right? This floor is no longer flat, and now we're adding like a little bit of actual mossy grass, and it's very cute. I'm kind of tempted to add more. I don't know if I'll be using this in the few flowers that I have left, but if I have some left, I might add more over the grass texture. So anyway, back to gluing this flower. Before I got really distracted by the fact that I hadn't done the moss yet, and I realized that like I was gonna be putting stuff down there, so I really needed to do that first. We're really running out of glue, and I think there is another thing of glue in the kit. There was something I couldn't figure out what it is. It looks like a much smaller glue bottle, but the glue is not translucent like this. It's a white glue. Very confused, and I never saw it mentioned. It's not been mentioned once in this whole thing. I don't know. It's literally not been mentioned once, but okay. See, I'm still really struggling. Even while gluing it on, I'm still struggling. We're getting there. Getting there eventually. There we go. And then I am gonna glue next to it because it's so tiny. It's so teeny tiny, but I'm gonna put this little, it's kind of like a succulent, I think. Kind of looks like a succulent. And it's made from the same moss leaf powder stuff that I just put on the floor. Very, very tiny. Very hard to get on there, but it's very cute. I'm just gonna use the tweezers to kind of poke it around a bit. Poke, 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 poke. Okay. So cute. Sorry, sometimes I bump the camera because I'm sitting in front of it, and as I'm sitting here, my feet and my legs, are falling asleep. Very unpleasant. So I kept trying to find new positions to make myself comfortable because I was down here for like an hour. I've made a lot of cuts, but I don't know why I'm doing this bit next. There's like really many other things that I could be doing. Oh, there's that really cute little chest of drawers. Remember we made that together? It was one of the first things we made. That and the little planting shelf. We made the window, we made the door, we made the bench. Good times, guys. That was over a month ago. I bought this in mid-January, and I finished it on the last day of February. So a month and a half, roughly, of working on it, here and there. Some days I worked on it for like 3 hours, and some days I skip, on and off. I will say it's very hard to film. Like, it feels like I filmed for like 2 hours, and then when I'm done, I'm like, I did nothing. Like, last night when I was filming the first bit that you watched, I was like, alright, I'm gonna film for like half hour or so, and then I was going for a walk, and after my half hour was like, I did nothing. All I did was I painted some stuff. Here I was thinking it would take me half hour just to assemble everything, but no. Yeah, this thing has a way of like just sucking time out of you, and like, it's been very, very fun though. Hours and hours of enjoyment. So I had decided that like, I'm gonna wait till I finish this one until I can say if I want to do another, because I was like, oh yeah, there's so many cute ones, I want to do that one and I want to make that one. But then I'm like, don't get ahead of yourself, Allison. Like, at least try to finish this one and then see how it goes. So having finished this, although I haven't really, I still have more flowers to make, and I still have to make that leaf vine thing, so technically I haven't finished, but don't tell anyone. Alright, don't tell. I won't tell if you won't. But having 95% finished it. I think somewhere between 95 and 98, I would say. Oh, actually, it's probably less than 98. Yeah, there's a few flowers. I would do another. Yeah. So I'm already thinking about which one I want to do. And given that you guys did really enjoy this, I might also do a video series on another one, but it would probably be like this, where I split it up quite a bit into maybe just like 3 parts. If I were to document, I mean, this probably took me like 60 hours to do, you know? If I were to document all 60 of those, we would be here forever. It would be a million videos, and you guys would lose interest and get very bored. Well, some of you would. Some of you are like me, and when you like something, you'll watch hours and hours and hours of it. Because, yeah, that's who I am. This one seed, I can't get it to go the right way. It's driving me crazy, and the tweezers weren't helping, so I have to use my fingers. So yeah, I'll let you guys know if I do get another, and then maybe I'll see how this video performs before I decide if I want to do it. Yeah. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the journey. I'm putting this tiny book in here, but I think I'm gonna switch it out. I think I'd like to I've made 2 books. You know, that's the tiny book, and then there's a bigger book. They show a book on a little coffee table that I made, but when I put the big book on the coffee table after putting the small book in this cabinet, it was too big. So I think the small book has to go on it. I can't get this metal pail to sit. It's really driving me crazy. And you know, they actually gave you a lot of stuff, extra stuff even, that wasn't really in the instructions. So I'm gonna have to take a look at all that and see what else I want to maybe cut out and make. I think they give you a lot of materials to make like as many flowers as you want. Like, for example, I think I'm gonna make flowers to put in that basket. So there's nothing in the basket right now, but later maybe. Wow. Oh no, the light. See, the wires are real fidgety. Yeah. It's supposed to, the battery box and all that is supposed to go underneath it. So it's a bit hollow. Like, that white flat bit at the bottom only goes so far. You're supposed to hide it under there. And see, this is what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to put this cute little pot, the pottery, on top of the box. I forgot about that. And now you can see it much better, and you can see the watering can much better. Oh, it's flickering. And I know we still have like more to add, but look how cute it is right now. It looks amazing. I've been showing all my friends, and I've been so excited, and I just think it is so cute. This thing. It'll be the end of me. I'm gonna stick that up here by the jars. Oh, and this tiny little wide-brimmed hat I made, they've got it hanging over the tall post of the thing we glued in earlier, and that looks so cute, doesn't it? You know, you come out the door and you pick up your hat, and then you get to gardening or something. It's just so cute. I think I may glue the cushions to that bench because they do slide, you know, on and off. I can't really get them to go the way I want. But aren't they cute? Isn't that cute? I have so much of that cotton floss left. I probably could have stuffed those pillows a lot more. I didn't know. I stuffed them like as much as I thought. I think they give you, you know, way more than you need of everything, just in case you mess up, or because oh boy did I mess up sometimes, and I was really glad they gave me extras. Oh my gosh. Here's the coffee table, which is kind of tall for the bench. And that was also a pain to make. Anything with the wire was really a pain. And I don't have needle nose pliers, so I was using my tweezers to twist the wire. And yeah. Yeah, it was a struggle. I had originally thought I would put these flowers on the coffee table, but then I saw, as I mentioned, that they have a book. Oh, look at this, it's a mister. Oh, I actually was showing this to my dad. He was over a few days ago for his birthday, and I was so excited to show him this because he likes miniature stuff too. And I knew he would like this, and he likes when I make stuff. So, I was showing him that, and I was like, this is a kettle, I think. And he's like, no, that's a plant mister. Sometimes it hasn't really translated stuff well in the instructions, or, for example, all the plants are called bonsai. When, you know, they're like, these are roses, or those are, it's a snake plant, you know. So sometimes they just don't really name stuff well. So that didn't say mister, it said kettle. It's not a kettle. And they also called the watering can a kettle, I think, is like kettle 1 and 2, if I recall. So he really liked that. He liked the mister a lot. And my grandmother is an amazing gardener, so I am very excited to send her a picture of the finished product, because I sent her a picture of like all my stuff like laid out on the table that I had made. And I think she's gonna really, really love this, because I don't know if you guys remember in the first video I told you how she and I made a fairy garden together. So when I texted that photo, she's like, Allison, do you remember the fairy garden we made when you were a little girl? And I was like, yes, I even mentioned that in my video. I thought it was cute that we both thought of it. This is just slightly more impressive than the fairy garden. The fairy garden didn't have working electricity. The fairies didn't have electricity. They hadn't discovered it yet, so. Oh, I like those roses. I like them a lot. There's 2. I've got that one too, but that one's, I might have to glue down. That one doesn't stand upright. See, it's already fallen over. Yeah. So we're almost done. Again, I have to make more. I've got a couple of planter boxes that need to be full of flowers, and I think a few more flowers to be put in pots, you know, like these, and the big vine thing. But other than that, this is largely how it will look. Stay hydrated, guys. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. Yeah, I didn't know where to put this flower, but these roses are gorgeous, and I love them. I'm just so chuffed. I'm so pleased. Like I finished it, you know, a couple of hours ago, and I'm still really buzzed. I'm still really excited, because I don't know, you see the picture on the front of the box and it looks so cute, and you're like, I really hope I can make it that cute. And you do. They make it so easy for you. So some people have been asking what the name of the brand was, and this specific one, I think a lot of people make miniature kits, but this specific one is RØDE, R-O Life, and it looks like you can get them on Amazon. I got mine at Mitsuwa, the Japanese store. They had a few, so I got to look at it in person. So Mitsuwa or Amazon looks like is your best bets. So I got some close-up shots for you guys so obviously the door will be swinging open, but this was meant to be looked at up close, but you just ignore the glue, the little sticky bits of glue that you see everywhere. I'm so sorry. Yeah, make sure you let me know in the comments if you've made these or if you got one and you're making one. I want to know how it's going and which one you're making. Maybe you even have a suggestion for me. I have one or two that I think I'd be leaning towards getting because they were the ones that I was torn between when I originally picked this out. It was like, should I get this garden or should I get this one or this one? And then I decided on the garden. It was hard. Let me be real. Like the plants and stuff, it requires a lot of patience. So, if you don't like doing teeny tiny itsy bitsy craft things with these teeny tiny leaves and the glue and all that, maybe pick a different one. But having watched me do it now, maybe you feel really, inspired. Because, hey, guys, if I can do it, you absolutely can do it. I believe in you. So, thank you guys so much for watching this 3-part series. Obviously, this is the last video. The garden is pretty done. I will put them all in a playlist together. I know I haven't yet because I didn't know how many I'd make. But I'll make a miniature garden playlist, or maybe just a miniatures one, and then that way if I do future miniatures they can also go in the same playlist. Not sure, so I might change that, but for now they'll go the 3 videos and you can go back and rewatch from the beginning, relive the glory. And thank you guys all so much for watching it. It looks so good, but I can see so many bits of glue. Oh, how cute are those candles, by the way? They're made out of basically like a lollipop stick, like a paper stick, and I used my like X-Acto knife to find the core, and then I colored the core black with a pen to make it look like the wick had been lit before. I mean, how cool is that? And then there's more inside those little lanterns I made. So yeah, enjoy these close-up shots of things I've made that you might have missed, and the cool light, which again, those leaves are gonna cover up that little bit of wire that you see at the top there. But I mean, I can't believe I figured out the wiring stuff. I thought for sure that I was gonna do something wrong there. So again, if I can do it, come on guys, you can do it. You can do one of these. If you've got the space and you've got some spare time or a love for arts and crafts, I highly recommend these. I paid $35. I see them usually for $35 to $40 online, and to me this was well worth my time because I got hours and hours of enjoyment in this, and I'm gonna keep enjoying it every time I look at it, and I really enjoyed sharing it with you. Yeah, it's hard to believe that I still have more to add, right? There's the battery in the back. Yeah, it's hard to believe that I can squeeze in more flowers to this because I'm looking at it and it looks like, where are you gonna fit more stuff, But believe it or not, I will add more. So I hope you all found this super relaxing, and I hope that this video finds you well. Thank you guys for watching. Over 3 hours, really, I think over 4 hours of miniature garden DIY ASMR. And I love you all very much.